G'day humans, Chris Stead here. Today I'm taking the brand new Omoda 9 all-wheel drive PHEV that you can see behind me here for a spin. So it's not Sydney's best ever weather, that's for sure, but apparently it's hopefully going to clear up. And either way, I'm going to take this for a drive up the coast, give you a full tour of everything it has to offer, give you my thoughts on what the experience is like driving the thing, as well as talking to the team and learning a little bit more about the design and what this car is all about. I believe it's just arrived in Australia. These are the first models right here. So anyway, let's dive in and take a look at the Omoda 9. Okay, well let's have a bit of a look at the outside of it, the design of it. I'm going to talk you through, I'm not going to take you through all the specs because I can't remember them all, and I'll put them down in the description below. But in general, I think it's a really nice looking car. And it's, so obviously Omoda is the sister company of Jayco, and also Chery, or it sits under the Chery group. There's some similarities a little bit with the Jayco J7 and J8, which are landed in Australia, but it's still got a very distinct shape. And I think when you look at this profile there side on, you can really see it. The silhouette's really quite lovely. Now it's not all positives, and I'll explain that in a little second, but for the most part, I'm really happy with the look of it. Nice big 20-inch tyres, beautiful hubs on them too. This front I really quite like, especially that kind of, I don't know what you'd call it, it's almost like the Joker's smile, you know, Jack Nicholson's Joker smile, the light system, the way it kind of bends around and has like the C shape, almost like a big Mexican mustache or something, but anyway, it looks fantastic. I really like it. Nice grille here, so obviously it's not full electric, so there is a petrol engine in there. So you don't have that kind of space at the front that you have in a full EV, and you still kind of need that air intake. But yeah, really nice looking front. Beautiful lines running down the side, through here. Obviously these retract when the car is locked or when it's driving to get that kind of aerodynamic feel. Nice lines all the way back. Coming all the way down to this boss looking back end, which kind of, it's an SUV, but it doesn't feel like an SUV when you look at it from the back, does it? It feels a bit more sporty and got a bit of flair. Love the exhaust, or whatever that is. And kind of cool little spoiler here as well. Like a Transformers, I don't know, it reminds me of Transformers for some reason. My old Hot Wheels cars. But yeah, I think overall, they've done a really nice job with the design. It's a good looking car, particularly this color, which is the matte black. And there's 4 colors. There's a white, there's a shadow. No, this is shadow. There's another black which is glossier, but I think pretty much everyone at this event said exactly the same thing, and this is the colour you want. It looks really, really nice. Here's a fourth colour as well. And then you've got this full epic panoramic sunroof at the top here, which I've currently got open. Just to finish off, yeah, well, it's a great looking car. Now I said at the top that it's not all perfect, and this is not necessarily a design thing about the look of it. I do love these too. This is the way they've got these lights set up at the back here. And you can, I think they said you can customize this light so that when you you can have a different welcome light when you rock up for the first time in the car, personalize it a little bit. Now my issue with the design isn't so much about how it looks, it's just about that height issue. For what is a decent sized SUV, like it's not a small SUV, it is a little low on the height. I think, I can't remember exactly, so I probably shouldn't say, but I'm pretty sure that it was 1.6 or so. And as you'll see when I take you inside the car, that is the way that it curves back at the back here, while looking lovely and creating this fantastic kind of, you know, shape that the car's got, does compromise headspace in the back. So something to think about. In fact, let's just jump in and look at that right now. So inside, really love the trim, really nice. It's textured, as you can see. It's firm. It's not like kind of a plush feel, like kind of that older school luxury you used to get in the old Mercs and so forth. It's much more almost sporty, but it's got a kind of premium finish, premium feel, and the texture does actually feel quite nice to sit on. I'm pretty sure they said there was 12 speakers in the car, or Sony system, alongside 2 in the headrest. I'll talk about that a bit more in a second. Now all the seat adjustments kind of look like this on the door, which is really kind of cool. And plenty of space in the side panels here for bottles and bits and pieces. For families, that's awesome. Just having that much storage space in the back. You can put iPads and whatever down there when you're on long trips. And the speaker in the door, as you can see there, you can either open it through this or you can open it through the button. And you've also got this light trim that goes the whole way around, which you can customize on the HUD, you can see up there. And that customization does include, I believe, allowing it to alter with the music you're listening to. Now, let's have a look at my head, because everyone wants to look at my head. Now you can probably see there that I can't get my head in, and it's because of the sunroof. So if the sunroof went just a little bit further back, because it stops there, I wouldn't hit the back, and if it went a little bit more that way, I wouldn't hit the side, but I am not fitting in the back. This would be a quite uncomfortable drive for me. Now I am 6'4", so that for the vast majority of customers is not going to be any issue at all. But for me personally, it's a bit of an issue because not only can I not fit in the back, even though that would be unlikely, but my son's already pushing over 6 foot and he's 14. So as a family car, there'll be some families that might want to think, well, how big is my kid? And then we pile in the back here. So just something to think about. But like I said, for the vast majority of consumers, not an issue. But if they just raised it another centimetre, just a centimetre and a bit even, it would have made a big difference to those people kind of in that 6'2" to 6'5" kind of range, which, you know, there's a few of us and there's more and more coming, because if you've seen the next generation, they're huge. One of the really, really awesome things though is that the back row, and I don't think I can remember really encountering this in another car, it has recline. So I don't know if I've got something in the boot there. I have. So that's actually reclining. So at my height, it doesn't really help me, but you can go flat, so you can put stuff in the car, but you can actually recline the back row, which gives you that great option to have kids sleeping easier when you're doing long drives. So as a family-friendly SUV option, I'm really stoked at that. See here, there you go. See it going down at the moment. Is that the extent of it? I can't quite tell, but yeah. So having that kind of adjustment is really quite awesome. On the more positive side, in the back here, heaps of room for my knees. So even at 6'4", I can fit, and this seat is back for me at the moment. So this seat is back for me. So that's pretty awesome. To have that much leg room in the back, even with the seat back for someone my height, is, I'm not going to say unheard of, but it's rare. It makes the kind of the height issue even slightly more of a shame. But nice big soft padded in here as well. Pouch to go with the storage in the wall, and of course you've got the fold down should you want it, with a couple of drink holders in it. And now it is a wide SUV, so it's got decent width, so fitting the crew in the back in that regard is good. And down here you've got just some controls to control the temperature at the back here. And then down the bottom, right down the bottom here, you've got some USB charging ports as well, of course. Part of the modern day requirements for the modern day family. And as you can see, it's only half back at the moment, but that big, nice, beautiful sunroof goes all the way back to here. And it's not to be discounted, it's really quite awesome. And you know, it kind of comes standard in this, the Omoda 9 all-wheel drive PHEV, which is just the SHS model, SHS experience anyway. Okay, let's move into the front of the Omoda 9. Check out the Omoda 9 interior at the front here. And you can see I've got 3 programs for the driver's seat. The seats are all heatable through the touch screen as well. You also have heated seats at the back, which is an unusual and bonus luxury finish. Pretty much all around really nice finishes. So your center console, you don't even though it's a petrol, it's got a petrol engine in it. You've still kind of got this EV style design at the front here. This is part of the SHS system that I saw in the JQs as well. If you want to check my channel for reviews of those. Now I just want to show this before I got in. You can see probably the little speaker in the back here. So basically when you're driving in the car, if you take a phone call or you're listening to navigation through the sound system, it'll play that dialogue to the driver only. So the driver can hear it, but the rest of your passengers don't have to suffer through it. So again, a nice little touch. Staying with the steering wheel, look, it's good, it's nice and simplistic. They haven't overdone it. You've got just a couple of basic controls, your volume, skip, talk, so you can talk by voice. Over here you've got the setup for cruise control. You can see there. You've got more controls down here for your mirrors and fog lights and so forth. Open up the petrol. It's nice that you don't have to reach right around to get to the petrol, because that's for us big blokes challenging. You can also open the boot from here as well, plus there's a boot release, so it's automatic boot release comes up at the back. Now you can't see it at the moment, but you do get a heads-up display that's in here. It's interesting because at my height I can only just see it. And I'll tell you, this is the view from my height. That's not probably fair, probably about there. From 6'4", I can't sink the seat any further down than this, so this is max. And that's one of the things I'm a little bit disappointed with the interior design here, is I do feel quite coffined, or cocooned is probably a better word in here. You can see my knee is right up against this wall. This wall comes through here. It impinges too much on the driver's space for someone my size, and probably anywhere 6 foot plus, I would say, or just a wide dude. I'm a wide dude, I admit it. So that's just, yeah, I would have liked just a little bit more kind of leg space there, just a little bit more freedom. On long drives, I can really see that becoming a bit of a frustration, an issue in my kind of docile foot. Not just being able to just like relax it in any way. It's kind of almost got to be at attention or on the strain the entire time. So that is going to grate on longer drives, I feel. Small people and smaller customers don't have to worry about it, but that's something that I've noticed. Otherwise, quite simplistic. I do like that there are still some analog switches, some dials, something tangible to touch. I've got it over here too with the drive modes, the aircon, and this will switch you, see if it shows it. No, I've got the car off, that's why. Maybe if I put it into brake. Yeah, so you got your drive modes here.
Normal mode.
Oh, it's just started.
Off-road mode. Sand mode.
Sand mode.
Sport mode.
Normal mode.
Eco mode.
Eco mode. So I've got it on, you can probably hear the engine start there. It's because I've got it on hybrid mode here. I changed to electric mode, boom. You hear that sound just drop off, but the car's still running. You still drive. Now the driving side of things is really quite cool. This SHS system that the Chery brand, JQ has it as well as the Omoda, they've set up is really quite awesome. The range on it's fantastic. So you can get 1100 on this car, 1100 kilometers, with a mix of petrol and electric use, or you can just run it on electrical like I've got it on set now. You get 160 Ks off just that. And then you can just switch it over and you can actually set exactly how much you want the engine to charge while you're driving in petrol mode. So you can literally recharge the EV all the way back up by switching to petrol mode. So you kind of got a lot of flexibility there in the way that you can use the system to get extraordinary range. And really, 1000 Ks is probably the limit of what most people are going to want to drive in any given day. But even the next day, you don't have to then charge it to drive anywhere. You can just go off petrol, go to the service station, fill it up, and forget about the charging altogether. In fact, they were saying you can drive this for its whole entire life without ever having to put it into charge. So I think it's pretty cool. I'll talk about the driving experience in a second a bit more. Just wanted to note that the sticks, that's your shifter. So you park, reverse, drive, and then over here, that's where you've got your window wipers, your lights, your blinkers, and everything are over here. So that's kind of a bit of something to adjust to a little bit. It's not like your standard cars. Now over here, I kind of like, in general, other than the fact that it's impinging on my knee space, I like the center console space. It's quite easy just to relax here. You've got charging spots for your phone and your partner's phone. Obviously the 2 drink cup holders as well. A bit of space for extras. You've still got the center console as well, which isn't refrigerated, which you kind of see sometimes nowadays. But you've still also got plenty of space over here. So you've still got space for your bottles and stuff in the door, so you're not losing, you've got a lot of storage in here as well. Now overall, I find the dash experience to be solid. This screen, like I'm sitting back right now, where I'd be sitting if I was driving, and that's full stretch arm on a big dude. So the screen's a bit far away. So by having this kind of complex here, they've got no screen here. So so activating it requires you to lean forward while you're driving, and that's a bit of a bummer, I think. But otherwise, it's nice and clear. The information's really clear and animated well, and there's so much you can do in here. There's so much once you get into it and get through all the apps. See if I can find where am I supposed to go here. Home. Oh, this one. Yeah. So going through all your apps, your settings. It'll take me a long time to show it to you all. What I do want to show you though is if you scroll up, is you've got over here, as well as your seat warming and your aircon, you've got fragrance. So there's a scent in the car, which you can actually set and then turn on to however much you want the scent to be strong and give your car a fragrance. And they even, as part of this event that I'm on right now, even had a perfume maker come in and do a kind of a perfume making experience with the guests. But pretty cool, right? I can smell it right now. It smells amazing. It smells better than me. And this is pretty neat with the volume as well. But you've still kind of got that vent experience. You've still got a couple of analogs in here, a couple of switches. It's not completely gone full touch screen, and I really appreciate that. I love that kind of tangible element, and it feels great, and it looks great, and it's premium finishes. But you're going to be doing most of the stuff on the screen, which is just out of your reach. So that's a little bit of a bummer. Again, if you sit a lot closer to the steering wheel with me, then maybe it's not that big an issue, but arm length is relative, so still could be a problem. And there's that beautiful sunroof. I'll see if I can open it all the way up. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. I love it. Just makes the car just come alive, doesn't it? Fantastic. So overall, she's a good looking car. She's got a real premium and luxury feel to her. She features everywhere you look and nice. She's a little bit compromised at my size, which for a largish SUV is unfortunate. And there's a couple of decisions they probably could have made, in particular here and in the back row, just to give it that flexibility to really hold a tall family in comfort. Have a look in the boot here. It opens up nice and high, which is really good. I can actually kind of almost walk under here. Almost. If I was on a slight hill I could, but most people are able to just walk under here without having to duck, which is lovely. Pretty good space. 600 and something litres from memory. Again, check the details of the proper specs. Too much to remember. You can see here the recline. So that's how much recline you're getting on the back seat. So it's not nothing. It's not amazing. It's not like flat, but it's not bad. But you can put these forward to make it flat and fit stuff in if you need to move stuff. Now, just in here, you've got a few bits and pieces to keep you going, but no spare tyre. So that's just something to note. No spare tyre, which is a bit of a shame on an all-wheel drive car, I've got to say. So if you're thinking about using the off-road component a lot, the lack of a spare tyre may be something that you want to think about. So let's look at the boot. Okay, here's a look underneath the bonnet. It's got 3 engines across the front here, I believe, and another engine in the back. 2 electric and 1 petrol. Pretty compact in there, isn't it? And look like they used to. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the driving experience. Now, there's plenty to like. So what are the first things that pop to mind? I love the turning circle, really, really tight. The first thing you notice when you actually get in the car is how light it feels. It just feels so light to drive. Yeah, it's just so effortless and to move it. Now, when you go through the different modes, you really do notice a difference. So on that eco mode, which is obviously going to get you the longest length, it's pretty slow to get going, relatively. Like, it's not slow, but relative to when you put it to sport mode. When you put it into sport mode and put your pedal down to the metal, you pretty much just straight back into the back of your seat. It feels great, actually. So there is a lot of power, there is a lot of kick there. I think 392 kilowatts of power, I think it was, and I'll put it in the description. And some genuine torque as well. So yeah, so she really does move. The SHS system is just seamless. So when you never really feel the gear change ever. It's just yeah, it's just buttery smooth in that regard. So I found the driving experience to be, quite pleasant. This car's only done 904 kilometers, and it was under 800 before I got in it. So the brake pad's like right there. So it's just taking a little while to adjust to the brake. So I don't think that's necessarily a car issue. I think it's just really fresh brakes. So they're thick and juicy. The rocker and roll, it's fine. It's all right. Like, as in terms of the suspension, it's got a really interesting suspension system on this car. Now, so in terms of the roll, the rocker's fine, like back and forth. Well, that's what I call a rocker anyway. The roll is a little bit more moving into to the sides, but it's fine. It just took me a little bit to feel comfortable, especially in eco mode, funnily enough, to feel comfortable cornering at speed. It just felt like I was just, it just felt a little bit loose, like I didn't have full control. But then I put on a sport mode and got a bit used to it, spent a bit more time kind of driving around some really windy roads and just coming into with the car, and I'm starting to feel a lot more confident. So it doesn't have that immediate feel of just being glued to the ground and grip that you get in some cars. But I've started to adapt to it. So I'm pretty happy overall with the general driving experience. Visibility isn't amazing. The back window is quite small, as you can probably see, so you're not getting too much view out of the mirror. Then you've got this giant thing in your view line there, which is there's a dash cam in there and LiDAR, I guess, and all that kind of stuff. So that's all in there. So the view's not great, but it's also not terrible. It's okay, even at my height. I've actually found my view to be more compromised when I was in the passenger seat. So I don't know if that just sits a little higher. It's just a shame you can't drop the seat just down another half an inch or something. Would just be great from the perspective of just being able to see a bit more as a tall person. But they've got the battery right underneath the seat, from what I understand from the tech design, so there probably isn't room there to do such a thing. I will say that the sill over here on the door sits quite high. So that kind of idea of, putting your arm on the windowsill like so and, cruising down the road, your arm just sits too high. So if you're someone who loves to drive like that, or just typically does find themselves driving like that in this sun-baked country of ours, there's nothing you can do about that. You're just going to have to live with it. So a little bit of a frustration. But again, I'm picking at little details here. But overall, really like to drive. It's got the power there when you want it, and I love the range, and I love that smooth, just transition to speed. It's just beautiful the way that it does it. It stops pretty, now I've got my mind around that brake as well, it stops pretty good. I also don't really notice the drag that must be happening when it's kind of harvesting. So, sometimes if you've driven some of the Teslas, for example, you can, as soon as you take your foot off the accelerator, she really pulls back, ooh, like this, and it actually makes you feel real car sick. Not noticing that at all. Oh, so super happy with how quiet the dash is as well. So sometimes, I know with the JQ, it was just beeping at me constantly, warning me this and that, and you're not doing this and you're not doing that, you're not paying attention, you're over the speed limit, you're doing this. Whereas this still gives you a couple little warnings like that. And like I was talking to the passenger before, and I was looking like this a fair bit, and it started warning me and going, champion, you might want to watch the road. So that's something I think it's a positive. I hate cars that beep at you. I hate driver assists, which just feel like they're really kind of always gripping you and taking control of the wheel. Doesn't happen. I haven't felt the driver aids really come into play once. So they're there. I know they're there. The car's got a ton of safety features, airbags everywhere, including an airbag that pops up here between the passengers to stop head cracking together. But overall the dash has just let me do my thing. So I think that's a pretty good summary of the driving experience. Off-road, I haven't had a chance actually to take this off-road. That's the only thing that I've got to say. This event does not allow for that. Hopefully I'll get a chance to drive it further, so look out for some content related to off-road. I can say I did drive the JQ J7 off-road, which has exactly the same settings, mud, sand, snow, all-wheel drive system, and it handled really well, much better than I thought it would, given that it's just it's not a Prado, but it actually performed really well. Traction was really, really good. It pulled itself up muddy hills really well, and I felt really in control. So I'm expecting a similar experience here, considering that they're sister cars. But I do think it's important to be transparent and to say that I have not been able to take this off-road. Only that I've driven through the rain and on some really greasy, slippery Sydney roads and some pretty windy streets. But that's obviously not mud or sand. Yeah, there you go. So there you have it, guys. There's my review of the Omoda 9 all-wheel drive PHEV, the SHS system in this car. And yeah, look, overall, I think it's a really nice car. Now it is priced at $61,990, which is potentially a little more than I would have hoped, only because the JQ was so competitively priced for what it offered. The feature was so feature rich. This particular car has a bit more of a luxury feel to it, and I don't know if it's more feature rich or not. It seems very similar to me, but then it's up to 20 grand more, so, or even a bit more than 20 grand more. So you obviously get more size, and I'm comparing it with the J7, not the J8, which is a more apples for apples car. But considering, you know, how much you get in that vehicle, I was potentially thinking that this one might be slightly cheaper than that. But obviously when you're comparing it though to some of the more traditional Australian manufacturers, though, that price is still really solid considering the experience you're getting inside the car and that SHS PHEV driving experience, which is, you know, I think is pretty special, especially with that range and just the smoothness and still having that power on hand and that flexibility of being able to just have petrol or electric or one or the other or whatever you want to do. So I think that's, yeah, I think it's a compelling offer. Overall, would I love to have this thing sitting in my driveway? Absolutely, it looks boss and it's a really, really nice car and it's going to be both practical and luxurious at the same time. But could I have it in there? Probably not. I think I'm a little too big for it, considering some of those design things that I took you through. So I'm Chris Stead, thank you very much for watching. Make sure you check out my channel. I've got plenty of other car content up there, including content from the JQ range if you want to compare the two sister cars together. But otherwise, till next time, check you later.